Canadian Cam, we did it, baby. We did it.
Yeah, hold on, let me make sure my mic's closed. Yeah, we did it in good fashion too, man. I will start with Rasmus because I'm always very hard on him, and I like to show I can be fair. He played really well today. He does need to start scoring goals. I mean, I do think the second chance he had where it just went past the post, like I'm hoping in the future that's an automatic goal. I don't think they can, when they were saying he should have scored on the penalty, I don't see how he could have. Like the reason he didn't score was his leg got caught underneath. So I personally prefer the way they call the game in UEFA than the Prem when it comes to pens because it's pretty clear. It's like, and if it's not, it's not. Like they did a good job. It wasn't the last one. We're like, that's not a pen. Cool. All right, no big deal. Move on.
Yeah,
but if you don't call it,
they're soft, but they're consistent in giving soft penalties. Yeah.
If you don't call it, then you don't get a chance to go look at it. It's like it makes it harder to overturn it. For me, it's just he took a quick look and he was like, all right, pen. I think the one on Drogu, I looked at it more. At first, I would have been like, yeah, I would have been upset if we got it, but the whole setting a pick, we were talking about it in the group chat. I was like, he kind of basically, like you said, he went forward. So at that point, Drogu couldn't take the ball and get it to, because that's what he was going to do. He was going to get the ball, get it to Rasmus. He couldn't go through. He couldn't do anything with it. So that to me was a pen. Like it was soft, but it was a pen. It is what it is. I'd have been upset if it was us. And I think the red was stone cold. I don't like everybody saying, oh, well, the defender could have got there. Cool. But if I'm a ref, I'm behind the play. I see that you take a man out and all that's in front, that the ball, if that ball had been taken away from him, all right, cool. Like away from net, yellow. But it was towards net. So now you're guessing. You're saying, can that defender catch him? There's nobody in front of him. I don't know. It's a clear one. So though the penalties for me, I think it is what it is. I was really impressed with Drogu. There's a player there. There's a player. I'm not going to jump the gun because it's against who he's playing against in Europa versus what he'll see in the Prem. But there's a player there. He won so many duels. The most impressive for me was the duel he won in the penalty box. He didn't get the cross off right. He seems his decision making is not there yet, but he won the penalty right, like in the box. It was beautiful. Took the ball off him. I was like, we haven't had a fullback do that in so long. That like every time he touched the ball, he was looking to cross it. Every single time. Every single time he was looking across it, that guy, he did it. That last pass where he dummied, where he faked the shot, and I'm like, you are trying so hard to get Rasmus a goal, and this guy doesn't want to score. Like he at that point, you could tell.
It was funny as well because if you looked at Bruno like got annoyed at him, and I think what Bruno saying is, we all want Rasmus to score, but we need that third goal to just kill the game off, and that would have been the time to do it. And and I agree with Dorgu. And you know what he just has? I don't think it's that he's got good technical ability, but what he has that we've been lacking from so many players for so long is that when he does get half a yard on a player because of a good touch and a drop of the shoulder, he can go because he's got acceleration. And I think it's such an underappreciated asset in a player until you don't have it. And you see like Maz as an example. Maz is excellent. And he did beat some players tonight when they were down to 10 men. But if he knocks it past a player and he's got half a yard, you can catch him on the ball quite quickly. Yep. Dorgu, it's very hard. And then if you are catching him, he did it brilliantly tonight. He'll just put his body in front of you, wait for the impact, get the foul from a dangerous area. Yeah, very, very impressed with him. What was your thoughts, Cam, on Bruno Fernandes tonight, picking up the hat-trick, a really good captain performance as well?
My fucking captain, man. I just leave my captain the fuck alone. Like everybody's talking about, first off, those penalties are high pressure penalties. The first one especially, he cannot miss that. They just scored early in the game. You cannot miss that penalty because you will embolden them. Their fans will go crazy. You got to score that. The rest of the game, like Brian actually, he put the facts out because he's big on. He put the statistics out there. Bruno, 80% pass completion, but guess what? 6 of 9 on those long balls. He was great tonight. He saw everything. I thought he led like a captain, and I loved everything about him. The way he was getting on the players when he should have, the way he was getting on the ref when he should have. It's at one point, a commentators for us, you have different commentators. I found out when I was talking to the group. At one point, they're like, "Oh, his body language towards his teammate there when he had a bad touch." I'm like, that was on him. He was mad at himself. No matter what he does, they come for him. And for me at this stage, it's like you cannot be coming for a player who is just consistently not just our best player, but the best player on the pitch. He was the best player on both sides. he didn't put a foot wrong for me. He runs his ass off. I got nothing but praise for Bruno, and I really hope, again, I keep saying it, I hope he's here for this transformation, because for me, he's now dropped deeper into midfield, a role that everybody said he couldn't do. Everybody and their mom said there's no chance this guy can play in this role, even though we've seen it for Portugal. He's doing it for Amorim. He seems to get the system quicker than anybody else. He's adjusted quicker than anybody else. So, like, with him in Cast today, they looked comfortable, which we haven't seen in a while. So Bruno, for me, Bruno and Xerxes were our best two players on the pitch. Drogo with a very good third shout. We were comfortable today, and I look forward to the next round. I look forward to, I like in the background, Steve was saying, let's see how we deal with the creative players. How you deal with creative players is you control the ball and make sure they don't get a lot of opportunities. And we did that today. I know they got a red card, but today for me, the Amorim system, you see it. You see the wide players, the Drogu, the PNP. Know what happened, Terry? Do you know what the thing is where people stop forgetting about that? Not forgetting about why that's important or started hating on it, is because like that is a Rashford special. That is what he does. And everybody's like, oh, that's all he does is kick it past the guy and run, pick it past. Well, you need that sometimes. And we're seeing that it really helped today, because without Drogu, we don't get those penalties. We don't put the pressure on them like we need to. So all in all, man, I thought it was a great performance from the team. I think defensively we were sound, but we have been better defensively under Amorim. It's just nobody wants to see it. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, there's gaps in the midfield. Yeah. Oh, we're not controlling. Like nobody wants. We are not shooting a million shots.
And do you know what I think really? And what's really, really important about that? Yes, we're conceding goals, but a lot of it's been penalties, or there's like an individual error, as opposed to being torn open and being peppered. And what's really encouraging is that we've lost Maguire, that was an important part for early on Ruben. We've lost Lisandro Martinez, who I thought started terribly in the system, but was growing into being a player where even Staffy was praising him. And it's a little joke there, Staffy. We've lost two of our main three centre-backs, but the system is prevailing. And it's, as I keep saying, it is early days. I am not getting carried away. I am not getting ahead of myself in terms of this is going to be amazing. But the one thing we've been asking for as United fans is, well, when we have some players out, can we maintain a consistency of performance? And we have seen that in periods of games. So for me, of course, transfer windows are needed. The squad needs to be improved and so much more. But I feel there is, for me, whenever I hear someone say, I see nothing to be excited about, or I see nothing to be encouraged about, I think you're either blind or you're deliberately ignoring elements that you could look at and say, well, that's good. This looks really great. And Xerxes is an example in an attacking role. Game in, game out, the more he's playing, he is starting to flourish. His weight of pass is getting better. His confidence is coming through. Now, I want to see a lot more, and I want more consistency. I'm not satisfied right now. I'm not saying that's it. He's a top player. We shouldn't demand more. But I'm just prepared to give these players in this system, some of these players in this system, more time, like Xerxes as an example. I really, really am. We're going to come on to Chelsea in a few moments. Steve's been waiting backstage for quite a while. Obviously, Lazio tonight pick up a really important win. I assume you were watching that game. Did you play earlier or at the same time as us?
No, it was the early game.
The early game. 1-1 on the night, but you went through as well. What other games were you watching today, Steve?
Yeah, at work, I was getting bored of the Fenerbahce Rangers game. I mean, Rangers tonight have been horrible against Fenerbahce, to be honest. It's an extra time right now. I'd probably go into a shootout, but I was watching Lyon and FCSB, and yeah, Lyon for me are definitely like top 2, 3-ish contenders. I see a very strong 4, like a core 4 of favorites. I still have Athletic Club as number 1, probably. 2, I would either, it's between Frankfurt and Lyon for me. Maybe even edge it towards slightly for Lyon because of their attacking depth. I believe they have 6 really good attackers and 2 creative players that they can bring off the bench in Cherki and Almada, who's been playing really well lately. Got the midfield depth for it with Matic, Veretout, Tessman as well. And the center backs, Mata and Niakate, who used to play at Forest. He's been really good. He's been in really good form too. So I think, and then Lazio probably, around 4th or something like that, because we've been kind of off lately, to be honest. But yeah, no, Leon tonight, what's it called, against FCSB? Mikel Tadze started. He was brilliant. Nuama took 2 goals really well, and Shecky was doing Shecky things. So yeah, I think Leon Man United is a really good test to see if Man United can keep up with those good performances, because they will test you. They have a lot to offer going forward. Real Sociedad, after the first leg, I was like, you know what? You could get these guys at home, to be honest. Because Real Sociedad, they show up when they want to. They're so inconsistent. And
we're going to face my younger brother.
What?
We're going to face my younger brother.
Checky. Yeah. No, but that will be a really, really good game. I think it could. I mean, Leon could get a few goals at home. They have a crazy streak recently, Leon. They've scored at least 2 goals in about, I think, something crazy like 10 straight games. And a lot of those games, they've been scoring 3s and 4s. They played Paris Saint-Germain off the park second half in their recent Liga meeting, and PSG had a full team out there. So it's really, really good.
Yeah, no, mate, you're right. Listen, as a Man United fan, I ain't getting carried away because of the league or the name or the history of any of these clubs. At Lyon, they might be sitting 6th in Liga. We are 14th in the Premier League. So, and the one thing about Liga that I know is, out of all the leagues in Europe, it's one where often the depth in all squads for speed, physicality, running often matches a lot of the Premier League sides, where I think against Sociedad today, the one thing we had, and we can't say this often for Man United, I think we had more legs than them. And we don't normally say we have more legs in the team. We had more legs than Sociedad. Yeah. I don't think that'll be true with Lyon, so it'll be a very different test for us. But I also look at it from this perspective. If we can get past Lyon, I think that's proof that we have the ability to win it, if that makes sense. So I think that can give us the belief at the same time. Equally, if we get battered by them, 1, we're out, and 2, well, we were never going to get past. Like, you think like Bilbao are still in it, Frankfurt, Lazio. The idea, because again, it's more than likely going to be Bilbao versus Lyon or Man United in the semi-finals. As much as I've watched both Fenerbahce and Rangers, I think Atletico Bilbao beat them both personally, in my opinion. So really, really tough tie ahead.
I was just going to say about the legs. If you're looking at Lyon, the only player in their squad really that isn't known for having legs is Matic. But Tanner Tessman makes up for it in midfield.
Yeah, we faced
Tolisso as well. Tolisso's got an underrated little engine. And Tolisso,
I'm excited about the game. Like, I won't be counting my chickens whatsoever. The hope for us as well. I don't know about the state of their squad right now. Mason Mount's barely kicked the ball for us, but the manager seems to think about him. He likes getting Mainu back is going to be really important. I think adding Mainu back into the midfield. Hopefully Toby Collier and Ugarte can stay. The fact we didn't have to use Ugarte tonight was really good for us. I think he was slightly rushed back tonight to be on that bench. That's why he didn't come on and kick the ball.